The Pinna Flyer II is a simple-to-build balsa and tissue-covered rubber-powered free-flight model airplane. There was also a Pinna Flyer I, and I still have one in good flying condition. There's a few minor differences, and I'll point those out later. I'm starting out with typical flights. It took a little bit of adjusting to get it flying just right, mainly just adding some clay to the nose because it tended to climb too steep to begin with and was stalling. I made a bunch of flights over like 3 days, and I found the flights were very consistent, and the plane would probably fly easily around 45 seconds with no thermal lift. Here you see the Pinna Flyer I in the background and the Pinna Flyer II in the foreground. The differences are the propellers are different. The Pinna Flyer II is a little bit shorter, but the vertical fin is larger, and there's just a little bit less structure. With laser cutting, it's easy to do the elliptical shaped surfaces, where in the past most little planes were a bunch of sticks glued in a triangular type of structure. I purchased 2 of the Pinna Flyer kits. The packaging is very good, and like always, I never have any damage when I receive items from J&H Aerospace. This is the content of the kits, and everything is included, including rubber, tissue, and some clay for balance. The parts are easy to push out, but you might want to use a knife at the little tab spots. Here's a typical simple plane from the past, the AMA Cub. There was a whole lot of those built. They used a heavy onion skin paper for the plan and the covering material, and it was rather heavy, and it could warp really bad. But just the same, there was a whole lot of kids that built these planes and flew them. Here's a local group of scouts, probably like 25 years ago, that I helped with. This is the AMA Racer, a similar type plane, a little bit bigger, probably a little more delicate, but might fly a little bit longer. The Squirrel from Darcy White in Canada, a really simple plane that had a really minimum structure, but they really flew pretty well. There was no dihedral needed as it had winglets. Here's the Denny Dart II, designed by Neil Dennis. I built a whole bunch of these with different groups of kids, and they worked well. You could move the wing back or forth because it was rubber banded to the fuselage. Here's the Mountain Lion II. There's a Mountain Lion III from Laser Cut Models, and this was kind of like the Pinna Flyer, where it was laser cut with curved surfaces. I had a summer class build these one year, and they did pretty well with them, but they seemed somewhat delicate. The wing is longer than on the Pinna Flyer, and it seems like it can break kind of easy. At least that's what I found. Oh, I like to experiment. I put more down thrust in, and then I made a little wire extension on the rear hook because it tended to fall off if you didn't braid the motor. Well, no doubt the down thrust helped, but I added a little extra weight with the rear hook wire, and I had a longer rubber band, so I needed a little more clay than I thought to balance that out. So here's the first flight after doing the mods, and it still did a little stall, but it recovered well. Here's the second flight after the mods, and it looks like it was about ready to stall, but then it flips over and continues on. So I think I needed just a touch more clay, and then it looked good. The next flight looked pretty good, but it was starting to get really pretty windy, and it drifted down almost to that building. I might try a little bit more down thrust yet, because I like to experiment. So I tried a mountain lion plane, and it seemed like it was kind of out of trim, and the wind was really kind of blowing it around. I added a little right rudder to the mountain lion, but it was too much, and it spiraled into the ground, and that little bounce was enough to break the wing. Well, I'm going to end this video with a flight where I launch it and it comes right back to me. So thanks for watching these videos. Comment if you feel the urge to, and look for different things in the future.